Hey guys, I'm in a dog park just around the corner from where I live here in Georgia, and I thought that was quite unusual and it's a little bit off the beaten path, and wanted to have a chat with you guys about a rather interesting take on something that I hadn't really thought about but makes total sense to me now, which is the idea of feeling loved and how that relates to the skills you possess. Feeling loved, feeling respected, feeling needed in life. And this applies to all avenues: work, relationships, marriage, friendships, and your sense of worth in the world. But really we can talk about love here and how it interrelates, how it relates with skill, and how we forget that skill and a feeling of being loved could be linked and are actually quite importantly linked. What am I talking about? When you feel that sense of not being loved, of not getting the attention you deserve, whatever strain, whatever form, whatever manifestation of that sense of not getting the love that you have wanted. Maybe it's a feeling of not being acknowledged. Maybe it's that sense that you are not making an impact on someone else's life. Maybe it's a sense of just not being loved in a relationship. Maybe it's a sense that you don't feel worthy in a group. You're not respected enough. And this could be a complicated topic, so I'm going to handle this carefully. My solution for most of the cases in which you feel not loved, rather than this sense of entitlement that I think a lot of us have when it comes to love, a lot of us think that we should deserve love. We are deserving of love just for who we are, just for being you, just for being yourself. You should expect love. I think that it makes a lot of sense to expect to be loved just for who you are, to be respected as a human being, to be thought of as an equal. At the level of humanity, absolutely. We all deserve a certain degree of tolerance and acceptance and respect. But if you're finding that there's a pattern that evolves, perhaps there's a continued sense, a continued sort of, maybe it's very subtle and maybe it's very obvious in your life, that you just don't seem to get the respect that you're looking for, or that love. Where is it? Where's the love? In the words of the Black Eyed Peas. Why aren't you getting the love you're looking for? And why won't where is Prince Charming? So this applies to relationships, and it also applies to everything else. And I'm going to try and bundle this all into one quick chat. And perhaps if you're interested in this, we can talk more about it. But think then about your skills. Perhaps developing skill in something might be the solution to your suffering on the lacking in love, lacking in respect, lacking in support front. Might it be that the love you're looking for in a particular type of person, because obviously you're not satisfied because there is a lack of love, a lack of respect coming from the kinds of people you want it to come from. Who do you want love from more than anyone else? And the family element is tricky because obviously you would expect a certain level of love from blood family relations. But when it goes beyond that, and you're expecting love and you're expecting support and admiration from people, maybe it's because you lack the skills that person that you want love from is looking for. Perhaps there's someone approaching from behind. I must be very careful here not to reveal my identity. No, perhaps the person that you are looking to receive love from, or the groups, the types of people you're looking to receive respect, admiration, love, support from. Maybe it's your target market, maybe it's the kind of people you want to work with, maybe it's the kinds of people you want to attract into your life. Maybe you don't possess the level of skill that brings value to those people. And many of us, we sit and we stew and we feel victimized, and it's not fair, and it's just, you keep doing the same thing over again, and you cry yourself to sleep, perhaps, I hope not, and you just are so annoyed that that person is not showing you the attention that you've been wanting and craving. But maybe it's because you lack the skill, the development of some form of craft, some form of mastery that is of use and of interest to that person. I'm not talking about skill in general, I'm talking about skills that that person needs in their life. And you can see this in a client to service provider relationship. So you might be a coach. I know this because this is my sphere. You're going to get loved by your clients, by your ideal clients, when you have the skills that they are looking for. So asking probing, interesting, deep questions, listening to them, being there for them, honoring that client is going to make them love you. And when it comes to relationships, romantic relationships, I'm afraid I'm not the traditional believer in love as we know it. I think love has many strains and many forms. I think most of the love that we recognize in romantic relationships is lust and can wear off. But there are other forms of love, and it might be love in the sense of being respected, or feeling someone feels that you are worthy of support because you have a skill. And this applies to the ladies as well as it does to the men in relationships. If you're struggling in relationships, perhaps you're not providing the skills that that other person is looking for. And often, those skills might not necessarily be the things you are passionate about working on, becoming good at. Oops. Perhaps you need to look into areas of your life that you are not very good at the moment, that you could get better at, that will then start bringing you some of that love you've been craving. Perhaps you're a wife and you're wondering where the love is coming from your husband, but you ain't got any skills in particular areas that your husband is looking for. So look into that. And maybe you're a husband wondering where the love from your wife's coming from. Maybe you need to get better at gathering resources, perhaps. Maybe you need to get better at skills that will lead to certain types of outcomes that the lady is going to fall in love with you for. Sorry to get unromantic about a lot of this stuff, but love and skill are perhaps more intertwined than a lot of us think. So think about what it is, get in the shoes of your love interest. Think about what it is they are looking for in someone that they would love, they would respect, they would support. And then develop those skills. You might find life gets a lot easier than that, rather than staying in entitlement, staying in assuming that because you are you, and because you have been that 1 in 40 billion match, that you are a miracle just in and of itself. Yes, you are, but you can't expect someone to love you if you can't provide something that they're looking for. Not all love is unconditional. Some of it perhaps isn't. Some of it is conditional, maybe. I don't know. I don't think much of it is. I think a lot of love is about understanding what you can provide for someone else. And of course, provision and value is rooted to skill development. So what can you become better at? And don't think that you have a character flaw and that it holds you back from gaining certain skills. I mean, certain things we're better suited to, yes, but a lot of the time we're scared about doing certain things, or we feel that we're not suited to certain things only because we're not skilled in those things. And perhaps if we just spent a bit of time developing our skills in things. I know that I'm being extremely vague because I'm trying to throw in every type of example into one thing, but hopefully this makes you think in a slightly different perspective, like I have recently. It's just, if you feel you aren't getting the respect you deserve at work, maybe it's a sign, an indication that you need to be thinking about something to be getting better at, something to be more able to contribute through and be considered more of a valuable cog in the system, and maybe more than that. Maybe you recently got fired because you were not demonstrating the abilities that you were needed for. And maybe it was just down to skill. Maybe it wasn't down to the fact that people didn't like you, or that you had a character flaw, or that there was something wrong with you personally. Maybe the ego was speaking a bit too loudly at that point. Maybe really it was down to not practicing something enough, not getting good at something enough, and underestimating, undervaluing the importance of developing rock solid skills in something. What would being a better chef in the kitchen do to your marriage? What would being a better communicator do for your job? What would being a better public speaker do for your career? What skills do you need to get real about getting better at that are going to not only improve your life, but bring the respect, admiration, support, and love of the kinds of people you want to be loved by? Anyway, just a thinking point. Hope that made sense. Do subscribe, do like. Signing out from a back alley in Tbilisi. Much love, Alex. See you next time.